Take two, film crew error. A very warm welcome to Billy's Travels on Facebook and on YouTube. As promised, this is the fitting of the S.O.G ventilation system to my base car 599. The turning round a bit, let's try it. Yes, this is the package, and there it is. It's the F-type S.O.G and it's the C260 or 250. Now, they're not cheap. It cost me nearly 250 quid, but I think they'll be worth it in the end. Right, I'll hand you over to my assistant and I'll try and go through because the instructions are not too good. As you see here, I've got it fitted now, but I'll just try and run through how we came. The problem being the depth here and the room I've got in here isn't great, so you've got to be pretty careful what you do. Now, what it says in the instructions, it says you measure from here, to the cassette, to the bottom of the door, and add 20 mil, right? So I measured that and I got that to 195, and add 20 mil is 215, right? So then you shut up and you measure from the bottom of the flap there. Or was it from there? Was it from there, from the bottom of the flap? Yeah. But I've lifted mine up, and I'll tell you why. Because when I measured it all out, half of it hit that. So I've lifted it up 20 mil. And I have also moved it to the right because the centre of it hits the flange of the cap. So I've moved it, as you see from the outside, I've moved it slightly over to the right, but I've kept the housing in the centre of the opening here, so it looks decent from the outside. Now, the instructions aren't too bad to a point. The wiring is, it doesn't tell you anything at all about the wiring, so I'll take the cassette out and I'll show you inside here. Right, so I put sticker flex around that, screwed it on, and I tried it with the pipe and it's a very tight fit. So that bit of it, I put sticker flex around there, screwed that on. Right, inside, the micro switch is up there, and that is as per instructions. So that the flap is in the, is it in the closed position? That turns it off, and when the flap's open, it turns the micro switch on. So you've got to play about and get it as far back on that blade as you can. The instructions are right, it's got a sticky pad on it, you stick it on, then when it's in the right position, when you've tried it, you screw it. Then you feed the wire through.
I can't see that, hang on a sec, there we go.
Yeah. Then you feed the wire through, and then what I did down here, before I did the main connection, I shortened the cable, this cable here, I shortened it quite extensively, put the terminals on, connected it to the fan. Then the final thing I did was connect it to the yellow and black down here. And I've kept all this as tight out the way as I can because it's quite a snug fit. Also, what you've got to do is you've got to take this thing out in here. You've got to take that out because you don't need that now because it activates on that bit. I don't know if you need that as well. I'm not sure whether you need that cover as well because that activates that valve in there, and you don't need that valve because it's got to be airtight now. Then what I did, I drilled, where's the hose? I've lost my hose. Where's my hose gone? Oh, it's over here. I'll just retrieve my hose. Right, firstly, before we go on to the hose, it was a 38mm hole saw through the door. It says 37, you can't get a 37, so I used a 38. I got a 38 and a 35 for this bit. You drill a 35mm hole in the cap. Now, some of them put them into the body. I think it's better to put it in the cap. There's a grommet fits in there, then there's a whole thing that pushes over it. That's quite easy. But what happens is is when you drill your hole in here, the measuring bit come out. Well, obviously you don't need that anymore, so we're throwing that away. So then what happens is that obviously screws into here and hopefully shorten that pipe a little bit. That goes into there, tucks nicely behind the cassette and into there, might not even have to shorten the pipe. I'm hoping it all fits. Hoping. We've tried it once and it was a very tight fit. So I hope that's some sort of help. It is a bit daunting when you first start it, but if you go through and follow the instructions, I was thinking of having to put this lot up here, but there is no need. It does fit, but it's a very tight fit. It really is. The other thing I was going to do was recess that in a little bit, but it does shut, it does fit on quite snug. Then of course you put your filter in there like that. That's how it showed, and then this top cover just fits on with two little screws underneath, and that is the end product, which is pretty smart really, isn't it? Now I'll tell you what we'll do is, if my assistant will give me the camera and go and open the flap, we might be able to hear the fan. Just bear with me a second. I'm just going to try and see if we can hear the fan. Just going to go and open that flap inside. There, can you hear that? Close the flap. See? I don't know if you can see. Open the flap. Close the flap. Got it? Yep, that's it. It's working. All well and good. Well, I hope that's some help. Any questions, if you do want to fit one, any questions, just give me a bell. It's not a problem. But yeah, that's probably took me about an hour and a half steady away with my assistant, of course, our Curly. Well done, Curly. And I think we deserve a beer. Bye for now.